Bienvenidos and welcome to the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda.
I'm Miriam Gennari.
My name's Adele Quo.
And we have a great news program today. We have our news stories. We can't forget that time, right? It's
easy being green.
Nort, Beckerman, and Brain Healthy Minute. Can't forget CBB, right, Miriam?
Well, on our community bulletin board. And then, of course, we're going to have some wonderful news for seniors. We're going to have a little bit of time with our own Rich Massabny, and then we're going to wrap up with a wonderful interview from my favorite coffee shop, and hopefully yours, the Java Shack.
But first, you can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1, and also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. Miriam.
Thanks, Daniel. And now on to our news. In breaking news, the U.S. Justice Department is investigating how Arlington County Jail handles deaf inmates. In court documents unveiled this week, the department documented that it began investigating the county as of April after a deaf inmate filed a lawsuit complaining that he did not have access to interpreters, was not informed of the charges against him for part of the 6-week stay he had in the jail, and had medical procedures done without any explanation or consent. Daniel?
Well, Miriam, the president of a local nonprofit just won a prize for leadership. Carolyn Jones, the president and CEO of Doorways for Women and Families, won the Brava Award for 2015. According to their website, the Brava Awards program celebrates female CEOs, nonprofit leaders, and high-impact executives who combine their irrepressible entrepreneurial spirit with a passion for giving back to the community. Doorways helps empower people dealing with homelessness, domestic violence, and sexual assault. Visit their website at doorwaysva.org to learn more about Doorways for Women and Families, and visit their website at smartceo.com to learn more about the Brava Awards. Miriam.
Congratulations to Carolyn Jones. And now, more congratulations. 3 APS students just won the National Merit College Scholarship. Washington Lee High School's Danya Nichols, Yorktown High's Will Clay, and Zane Rossi from Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology made the cut to achieve the National Merit Scholarship Corporation's funds for university. The awards are between $500 and $2,000 per school year. Congratulations to those students.
Absolutely, congratulations goes out to all of those students. Well, staff at Signature Theater got a shock when they caught sight of a deer in headlights, or more accurately, a deer in stage lights. On Tuesday afternoon, July 28th, while preparing for their show, The Fix, a deer made a stage entrance. The animal got into the theater by jumping onto the loading dock, then wandering through a back hallway and onto the set. Employees eventually fixed the problem by steering the deer back to the hallway and out of the loading dock. Wow.
Well, I'm glad.
What an entrance.
what an exit.
Yes.
Now, Daniel, it's time for
It's
Easy Being Green. Hi, Adele.
Hey, everyone. It is certainly easy being green. With Joe Tree Frog here and myself, we're visiting sustainable trash buildings around the world. At the end of every month, Easy Being Green enjoys introducing Arlingtonians to examples of how one person's trash is another's treasure, and to raise awareness that our garbage, which is available in abundance, is viewed as a resource by visionaries. From U.S. architect Michael Reynolds' eco-friendly Earthship biotexture homes made from garbage, to crossing the Atlantic to investigate the waste house that 20,000 toothbrushes built in the UK, let's zip on over to the small town of Mejorada del Campo near Madrid, Spain. Discover an extraordinary cathedral made from discarded materials that has quietly taken shape over the past 54 years. Adorned with dramatic spires, magnificent domes, stained glass windows, and intricate staircases, the impressive and complex cathedral looks like it has been skillfully built by a team of trained architects, engineers, and builders. Yet only one monk, without any formal architectural training or construction experience, has single-handedly dedicated his life to building this immense cathedral. From books and magazines of other cathedrals and famous buildings, he incorporated motifs found in castles and churches, was inspired by St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City, and even the entrance incorporates design elements from our White House's north portico. Since 1961, when Don Justo Delgado Martinez laid the foundation stone, the astounding cathedral now spreads out over 86,100 square feet and tops out at 131 feet. I'm not sure what the size of a football field is, but I think it's large. The many concrete support columns use old oil drums as forms. The walls and roofs are adorned with countless tons of salvaged bricks from nearby brick factories and locally salvaged tiles. Paint buckets sprout from the towers. Wire coils form the stair nosing, among other things. The city of Madrid tolerates its existence since the building has neither planning permission nor permits. And at 89, the sprightly Spanish monk can still regularly be seen climbing scaffolding and dragging the salvage materials across the site as he painstakingly adds to his immense cathedral. Visitors are warmly welcome while Don Justo's cathedral remains under construction. So remember, it's easy being green as we tour sustainable trash buildings around the world.
You pulled out some great Spanish words. I wonder who your friend was who taught you those
well,
words.
there's
a
a story.
Remarkable report.
Yeah,
thank you
well,
so
Thank
much
you.
for that.
Hope we can get to Spain one day.
Yeah,
Certainly.
absolutely. Well, now we're going on to our Nort Beckerman and a Brain Healthy Minute. Nort, take it away.
Nort.
I'm Nort Beckerman, author of A User's Guide to a Healthy Brain. Depression can cause behavior that mimics dementia. Your brain perceives depression as stress and releases the stress hormones cortisol and adrenaline. Adrenaline is a sugar substitute. Cortisol directs it to the stressor in an effort to provide extra energy. Cortisol blocks off or slows down all your other systems except those that are needed to fight the stressor. Cortisol also borrows some of the blood from those systems to fight the stressor. That makes it more difficult to make memories or retrieve old memories. Learning and reasoning become more difficult. The more intense the depression and the longer it lasts, the more difficulty you have. Adrenaline doesn't last long. Cortisol stands alone. When adrenaline is gone, cortisol tries to fight the stressor on its own. It continues to hold back your other systems, including blood supply, and goes on a rampage, damaging tissues and cells. That makes matters worse. Your behavior might change. You might become withdrawn. Usually can't do the things that you normally do. But there's a way to break the cycle. Exercise, walking for starters. Make sure you're properly hydrated. Drink only water. Avoid simple carbohydrates. Read a book out loud so that you're seeing, speaking, and hearing the words. Get a good night's rest, and when you're up to it, try learning a language or a musical instrument. I'm Nort Beckerman, author of A User's Guide to a Healthy Brain. I'll see you next time for a brain healthy moment.
Awesome job, Nort. Thank you so much.
Wonderful report.
Miriam.
And now we're going to move on to our community bulletin board. If you like cycling and care about kids, then you'll want to participate in the second annual Ken Garvey Memorial Ride. The event is hosted by Phoenix Bikes, which trains young people on how to fix bikes. Proceeds from the event will fund the new building for the group. The event honors the memory of friend of Phoenix Bikes, Ken Garvey, who is the late husband of Arlington County Board member Libby Garvey. The event will be on Saturday, August 1st at 7 a.m. and costs only $25 to enter. Visit www.phoenixbikes.org/KGMR 2015 to learn more. Sounds fun.
Yes, and great organization, right, Miriam? Well, yes. Well, a couple weeks ago, we told you about the Arlington Arts Center exhibit Play, Tinker Tech and Toy. A related event is coming up on Thursday, August the 6th. You can enjoy games, meet artists, contributing to the Play exhibit, and participate in other related activities. Well, there are two locations, Arlington Arts Center Gallery until 8 p.m. and the Meta Farmers Market in Welburn Square near Boston Metro until 7 p.m. Visit their website at arlingtonartscenter.org for more information. Miriam.
Thank you, Daniel. And now, here's some more tales on Welborn Square's Farmers Market. It opens every Thursday from 3 to 7 p.m. near Boston's Metro. It will be open until October. In addition to fresh produce, there will also be free wine tastings, chef demos, a live band, art, and more. Visit www.freshfarmmarkets.org to learn more. Daniel?
Yeah, seems like another fun event, right?
So
Well, if you're going to Lubber Run Amphitheater's free live music this weekend, then you can look forward to some, well, entertaining events. On Friday, July the 31st, starting at 8 p.m., funk rock blues band Pebble to Pearl, or PSP, will be there. They played along with the East Coast, including Orlando's House of Blues and NYC's Canal Room. Visit their website at pebbletoppearl.rebanation.com to learn more information.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes.
And also at Lubber Run on Saturday at 8 p.m., teen country singer Sarah Gray from Maryland will perform. She has opened for legends such as Miranda Lambert, Toby Keith, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Visit www.sarahgraymusic.com to learn more about her. On Sunday, August 2nd at 6 p.m., acoustic rock group The Loop will play. You can hear more of their music at www.sarahgraymusic.com. Sounds so fun, Daniel.
Yes, more fun events going at Lubber Run. Well, now we go on to our senior stories for this week. Aging in Grace is an art worth learning. Ariana Niatana of Attenda Home Care will discuss how we can achieve contentment and happiness as we move through life. That's on Monday, August the 3rd at Langston Brown Senior Center from 11 a.m. until noon. Just give them a call at 703-228-6300 for more information.
Arlington seniors move through life around here. That same evening, you can enjoy a night of music, dancing, and jazzy swing music from Tom Cunningham's orchestra. The 17-piece band will play big band hits at their free open rehearsal at Walter Reed from 8 in the evening until 9:45 on Monday, August 3rd. Call 703-228-0955 for details. Daniel?
Miriam, Tony Gallo will present a two-act dramatic reading of a tragedy based on the life of David, the second king of Israel. David put together a kingdom against all odds, but eventually faces tragic consequences of his decisions. This free performance is on Wednesday, August the 5th from 7:30 in the evening until 9:30 at Arlington Mill. Give them a call at 703-228-7369 for details. Miriam.
Thank you, Daniel. And now, seniors can also join Jennifer Weber at the Arlington Mill Senior Center. She is its director, for a lesson on how to communicate via the web. The class will go over FaceTime, Skype, as well as WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. Be sure to bring your smartphone if you want to check out the apps involved. That will be on August 6th from 1 to 2 p.m. at Arlington Mill. Call 703-228-7369 for more information. And now on to my interview, the Sustainable Scoop, where I talked to the owners of Java Shack.
Rich.
I read the teleprompter.
Oh, actually, we're going to Rich
sorry.
Remembers. Rich, take it away.
Our own Rich. Sorry, Rich.
Hi, this is Rich Massabny with the Arlington Weekly News. Do you guys know what a dresser is in showbiz? Well, what it is they have people, like if a girl has an act and she, as in this case when Nancy Austin, she ran off the stage, and there'd be a dresser like me who'd be off camera, who maybe had a boa to put around her neck and a bracelet on her wrist and something around her waist, you know, dress her up and then push her back out. But yeah, she was a very nice girl. You know, Kenny Jerome, he was a comedian. He was like a smallish guy, Kenny Jerome, and they did bits together, Kenny Jerome and Nancy Austin. And they were big back then. Nancy was a rotund girl, a comedian, yeah, and funny. funny. And so she'd have me putting on, she'd be half undressed and I would help her put on something, and then she'd go back running back out. And but they were good days. And Mark Russell, he for I don't know how many years Mark Russell was in the at the Marquee Lounge of the Shoreham Hotel. He was something special. I remember he'd be there all the time, and I remember he knew me, and I'd go in there, and it's like old home week there. I knew him, and but he had a guy who was playing the piano there. There was so many wonderful acts around town, and they were easy to get to. Today, you got to go through so many people to get to the right one, but not back then. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. If I had my choice of dealing in today's times or back then, I'd take back then. It was just so nice. And now let's go back to the news desk.
Wonderful, Rich.
Yeah, go Rich.
Our own celebrated Rich Massabny. We do miss him.
We love this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I have to apologize. I just had a little too much coffee.
It happens,
You
right?
jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Well, no question about it, especially since our next interview has all to do with coffee.
Yeah. And so it's such a great interview with Rich, and we do miss him here, right? Don't you agree?
Oh, well, I honestly don't think the news is the same without him.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even know what's happening in entertainment.
Yeah.
I know. Or restaurants or...
And he went to so many of those. And now, Miriam, we're actually going to your interview, Java Shack, with Robert Peck and Dale Roberts. Miriam, take it away.
All right. Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. My guests today are Dale Roberts. He is an Arlingtonian and sustainability advocate, as well as the founder of Java Shack. And Robert Peck. He is the co-founder of Commonwealth Joe. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for being here, because we've been focusing the Sustainable Scoop on our region's sustainable businesses, and we did not have to look far to find you. Right around the corner from the studio is the Java Shack. And if those people who don't come to this area very often aren't aware, I'm going to ask you, Dale, to tell us a little bit about Java Shack and how it got started.
Okay. About 25 years ago, I was living in Taiwan teaching ESL. Found coffee shops over there. When I returned, I thought, this is what I want to be doing. So I set a goal, and that was in 1990. And in December 31st of 95, I sat down with a friend and we laid out the plan for opening the Java Shack. And my goal was to have a community-oriented coffee shop where everyone would feel welcome, and it would be a place that everyone came, cyclists, families, students, and everyone would feel at home there. And so that was my goal, was to open up a friendly community coffee shop.
An institution in Arlington. You certainly accomplished that. It's one of the friendliest places I've been to, certainly to get coffee. Now, how did you and Robert come together with Commonwealth Joe?
Okay, about a year and a half ago, I had been thinking about what the next steps for me would be. And in the back of my head, I was looking for someone who I felt could take over the business and keep it going while I moved on to my next part of my life. And about a year and a half ago, Robbie came into the coffee shop, and young, energetic guy, and we started talking about coffee, and then I learned that he was working with his mother at roasting coffee in Culpeper. And he gave me some samples, and it went from there, and then we just built a relationship. I started carrying the coffee, Commonwealth Joe, and we built a good relationship. And then I just approached him one day about possibly taking over the coffee shop.
Well, you had great confidence in him. You must have. So Robert, tell me a little bit about how you got involved in the coffee roasting business.
Yeah, so it started a little over a decade ago, actually down in Culpeper, Virginia. And my mom and I worked together in a coffee shop there. And I was in high school, and I was a barista, and my mom was a manager and a roaster at the coffee shop. And so she was roasting the coffee, and I was serving drinks. And then I went off to college, and while I was at college, the business owners of that coffee shop, they ended up selling their business and dissolving their business, actually, and a restaurant came in and took over the space. And my mom bought all of the equipment, including the expensive coffee roaster, because she had fallen in love with coffee. And I saw my mom, she was so energetic and passionate, and I saw that energy that she had, that fire to, she was so excited about it.
And you'd been in college consuming coffee constantly,
That's
so
right.
you knew
I
there
mean,
was a big market.
I was already in love with coffee too,
Okay.
but I was more of a consumer of coffee. She was still roasting the coffee. So she started her business, and over time it turned more into a hobby than maybe like a business. She was roasting for her friends and family, but she didn't really have a marketing strategy. She didn't have a team to help her. So her dream of making this coffee business and sharing her beans and her passion with people all over the area, it kind of turned into a hobby. And so that was kind of sad for me to see that change. And then after graduating from college, I moved into Arlington. I've been here ever since. That was about 6 years ago. I was kind of thinking after working here for a few years what I wanted to do, and I knew I really wanted to help people like my mom who had this passion. I wanted to help them share their passion with the world, through whatever it may be. And I was into coffee, she was into coffee.
You are just the example of what people misunderstand about millennials. Not only did you partner up with Dale, but you really partnered to take all the skills you learned to support your mother's business. And now here you are, taking those two strategies, your coffee business as well as your roasting business. What are your plans to stir those passions into growth?
Yeah, so when we started roasting, we were an online business at first, and we got into wholesale, and that's how we met Dale. We sold our beans to the Java Shack, and they would roast, or they would brew our coffee there and serve our, we tried to get them to serve our espresso, but that was a long journey. Dale wanted it to be perfect before he served it in there. And after we were in the wholesale business, we realized what we wanted to do was get into retail and have our very own coffee shop one day, but we were thinking that might be, a year and a half down the road. And that's when, Dale pulled me outside of the coffee shop one day, and we were just sitting down catching up like we did almost every week.
Well, let me just stop you there to let you know that the moment that I discovered Commonwealth Coffee was at the Tech Shop in Crystal City, up all night drinking your coffee there. And I understand you're reaching out to a lot of businesses in Arlington, and you're trying to grow from there. So how do people get in touch with you so that they could possibly schedule a tasting or find out Java Shack information and learn more about the two of you?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with us is to go to our, follow us on social media. We're very active on social media. Come to our websites, commonwealthjoe.com, javashack.com, and we have information there where you can get in touch with us. Or the best way, really, is to just come to the Java Shack at 2507 Franklin Road, and we're there, almost every day.
I just hope that too many people don't come, because I hate lines, and it's just so easy to get service. You guys are wonderful. Thanks so much for coming to visit us at the Sustainable Scoop, and continued success.
Thanks for having us.
All right. And I want to thank you, viewers, for watching the Sustainable Scoop. To learn more about their story and other sustainable businesses, go to sustainablescoop.com or on YouTube.
Great job, Miriam, as always. And I must say, you have so much energy, and you're everywhere. You keep on going and going and going. That coffee.
Must be the coffee and the dark chocolate with the coffee
it's the
beans.
Dark chocolate.
Phenomenal.
I was just going to ask, where's my chocolate?
Maybe next time.
Maybe
Daniel.
next time, as always. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Arlington Weekly News. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.